But I would rather just pick it myself than pick at the palette. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now if you're someone who suffers with anxiety, like me, then fear not, the internet has a cure. I think, or like a solution to anxiety or something. I don't know. It's a weird little thing I found online and I kind of wanted to try it out. So this is it, the Pick Palette, and I found it on Etsy. And to use its correct title, it's called Pick Palette Pack Bundle Pick, Dig and Peel Anxiety Pick and Relief Kit Desk Toy Easter Basket Fella Dermatillomania latex free. That's the correct title. And it cost me £23.88. And because it shipped from America, I think I ended up spending more on shipping than I actually spent on the product. Because that's how determined I was to get rid of my anxiety. Sometimes you gotta be willing to pay the bucks, the dollars, the moolah. But obviously if you already live in America, it won't cost you that much to get it delivered to you. Mine has to travel across the seas. So it's got some pictures here. And it looks like a little plastic invention that you kind of paint on and fill holes with and stuff. And then you're just allowed to like pick it all off and pick at it and play with it and, I don't know, distract yourself from how shit the world is. And I think this is mainly aimed at people who like pick spots and pimples and stuff like that, which I love doing. It's one of my favourite things ever. Like, I absolutely detest TikTok as a platform and a social media thing. Although I do post clips of my videos on there, and I am on there, I don't actually post TikToks because I just think it's shit. However, I've been getting into little rabbit holes on TikTok of people popping spots and pimples and cysts and all sorts, and they've got some really good popping videos on there, and I just love it. There's honestly nothing better than watching someone like proper like dig their fingernails in and just like rake out all the pus. Oh, like it literally makes my mouth water. There's something just like so satisfying about it and just delicious. That's why if you ever see me and I've had a spot or I've got a spot, which I get quite a lot of, I will pick at them and pick at them and pick at them and make them a million times worse because I can't help myself. It's the one good thing about having bad skin. You get to pop your spots. I kind of feel sorry for the people who have super gorgeous, clear, lovely, amazing skin because they never get the satisfaction of popping their spots because they don't have any. So, to use lot, clear skin, assholes. I would absolutely kill for clear skin, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, back to this product. I feel like going on a little bit of a weird rant there. So it says that the Pick Palette is a fun and calming way to satisfy your urge to pick, peel and dig at things. It is wonderful for fighting boredom and very calming for anxiety. The Pick Palette has over 100 holes on one side that are full of fun stuff to pick out with the tool included. The other side has lots of dots, solids, stripes and other fun stuff for finger picking. It's just so satisfying. And obviously you get lots of stuff included in it, so lots of the paints and stuff and the Pick Palette itself. And apparently the latex-free exclusive Pick Palette filler colours vary. You basically use it to refill the palette and then apparently you have to leave it overnight for it to dry and then you can pick it all back off again. It says that warning, this product contains choking hazards and sharp instruments, not for use by small children, which is fine, I'm not a small child. And apparently Pick Palette TM is a registered trademark name and a copyrighted design. Any attempt to copy, sell or redistribute for profit will be met with legal action. Hopefully they won't sue me for making this video. Okay, well, let's get it opened, see what it's like, and cure me from my anxiety. Forgot what it was called there. Okay, so I've got my little Pick Palette here. Obviously it did come in a box, but I've been ordering an absolute ton of shit online, so I had to open it to figure out what I'd actually bought and what was what. And I'm pretty sure this is the Pick Palette. So we've got a nice little thank you sticker on the top there, which is lovely. Okay, so it comes in a nice little cloth bag. That's cute. Definitely worth the 50 odd pound I spent on this. So we've got one of these. It looks as if it's got a sponge. Oh wait, no. I thought the sponge was a part of it. That's just protecting this. So it's like a little sharp pointy thing and a little circle dotting tool. I honestly thought you didn't have to remove that. I thought that was like a painting brush or something. We have the little paints. I didn't choose the colours. I think they just arrived with whatever colours they fancied giving you. So I've got black, purple and a yellow. And this is that puffy paint stuff, which I have heard about, but I've never used before. So it gives you some proper like branded paints and stuff in there. And then this must be the Pick Palette. Ooh, Oh, see, it's already loaded on one side. Oh, it's already loaded on this side too. Oh, that's great. I was thinking I was going to have to refill it overnight, but I don't. I can already just pick away all this paint. I'm not going to lie, it feels cheap. It's a little plastic tray with some holes in and then just some areas. I paid £50 for this. I feel like I've been ripped off. But the proof is in the anxiety cure, so I'm gonna start picking away at this and see how I feel about it. The thing is, the reason I spent £50 odd on this is because I found it, and last minute I didn't realise it was going to charge us like £20 odd or something for delivery, and because I'd already kind of in my mind dedicated a video to this and it was something I wanted to do, I was just like, oh, I'm gonna have to spend the money now. No one else would have known, but I would have, and I wouldn't have been able to live with myself because that's how my mind works. But here's a little bit of a close-up at the pick palette. So that's one side, and you can see that they've already added some of the puffy paint on here ready to pick out and enjoy. And then this side, it's got all the holes in where you can kind of like scoop out all the paint. Oh, I'm already getting excited about it, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so let's see how satisfying this is. Also, I don't know whether this would count as that kind of hole phobia people have, where they don't like little tiny holes together. So if you have that, whatever it's called, then you might not like this video because I think there's going to be a lot of holes revealed once I've picked all this out. I don't know whether that would freak you out or not. I know it's an actual thing and I don't fully understand it, but I know people suffer from it, so that's just a warning before this picking starts. I might bring you in closer actually. Zoom it right in so you can get the full effect. Okay, let's pick one out. I didn't feel that satisfied from it. I'd rather pick a spot. I don't know, it's alright, but like, I don't feel super satisfied about it. I don't know whether my anxiety's going away. I don't love that side. I wanted to because I spent so much money on it, but like, I don't know, let me try the other side. See if that's more satisfying. Honestly, if anything, this is like frustrating us because it doesn't pull off very well. Why have I spent so much money on this for? I feel like I've made a mistake, everyone. I could have bought so much for like £50 and I've spent £50 on this. What was I thinking? I don't find it satisfying. I actually don't find it satisfying at all. This website had reviews as well for this pick palette thing. I want to see what everyone else thought. So Katie Lee Smith gave it 5 stars and said, I didn't think it could help so much. I use the dot side for when I have urges to pick my face. I use the other side when I want to pick the skin around the outside of my cuticles. Fantastic. And she sent all pink like requested. 12 out of 10. 12 out of 10? Really? It's got really good reviews. I don't understand why. Maybe it's just not for me. All these reviews, they've literally given it 5 stars. They love the palette. They love picking at it and stuff. Am I missing something? I love picking at things too, but I would rather just pick it myself than pick at the palette. Maybe that's the issue. Let me do a little more picking, see if I change my mind. Like, I think it's kind of a clever invention for people who have obviously serious disorders of picking, and like if they're making the face really bad and like picking and picking and picking at it, maybe this could help. But I like the feeling of getting the stuff out. So like if I have a spot on my face or something, I want to get rid of it. I want to get whatever's inside out. I'm not going to be like, oh, I've got a giant spot on my face, let me get my pick palette so I don't pick at my spot. It's not going to happen ever. And this is also supposed to be a cure for anxiety. I suppose it could. I suppose it would be similar to them kind of fiddle rings and fiddle watches and stuff where you kind of do stuff with. But pick wise, I think the more satisfying thing would be, I've seen it before where you get like this silicone slab and you fill it with like creamy stuff and then you squeeze it. That would be more exciting. That would be more satisfying to me. I feel like with this, I could just put paint on my table and pick the paint off my table. I don't understand why I need to buy a palette for this. I don't know whether I'm being like too harsh on it or not. Like, it does what it says it does, and it hasn't misled us. It's a palette with paint on it and you pick at it. But I don't know, I'm not loving it. I want to love it. I really want to enjoy it, but I'm not. The thing is with something like this, I would rather do like a diamond painting, or I would rather colour in or do basically anything else, because then at least I feel like I'm accomplishing something. With this, I feel like I'm just picking at a bit of paint off a palette. I don't think it's helped my anxiety at all. That light bulb's twitching as well, it's annoying us. I'll do a little bit more on this side, see if it wins me over. But like a weird thing happened to me. Well, it's not really a weird thing, but something happened to us yesterday, and it kind of relates to not necessarily anxiety, but how much of an awkward person I am. And basically, I was leaving work, and I was walking down the stairs, and someone said to us, "Oh, that's a nice little hat." And I wasn't sure whether they were speaking to me. I was wearing a nice little hat, but still, I wasn't 100% sure that it was directed to me. You know when you see them videos of like someone will wave at someone, but that someone's actually behind that person, and then the person in front waves, and it's just a really uncomfortable, awkward situation to be in. That's what I felt like I was being in. However, there was no one else around. It was literally just me and this one person, and she complimented my nice little hat, and it took me a while, but I said thank you. And it all passed, and everything was okay, and she said you're welcome, so it was directed at me. But in an instant, as soon as I said thank you, I was like, oh my god, is she actually talking to me? She might have been on the phone or something, and talking about someone else's nice little hat. But it was my nice little hat, so I was very pleased about that. But these are the thoughts and feelings that cross my mind every time I get into like a social interaction with someone. I'm like, oh, huh. I don't know whether anyone's similar to that or not, or whether that's just my brain. But I don't know whether this pick palette would help with kind of anxiety, or it wouldn't help me with anxiety anyway. I think I'm too far gone. And I also don't think it would help with my picking either, because like I said before, I like to actually pick myself and pick my fingernails and bite at my fingernails. This doesn't feel like a replacement. Maybe if it was like on us, it would feel more satisfying and I could feel it like coming away from us. You know, kind of when you would cover your hands in PVA glue and you'd pick all the PVA glue off. That's satisfying. So I think if you didn't want to spend money on this, a dupe would be just to cover your hand or your arm in PVA glue and then just go to town. Have a good pick of it, and then it feels like you're picking your own skin. It feels like you're picking stuff off yourself. That's the annoying thing as well. It doesn't like all peel off in one piece, and I don't find that very satisfying. Right, I think I'm done with that. I'm not pleased. It hasn't cured my anxiety, and it also hasn't cured my picking either. I would just happily go into the mirror right now and just have like a good squeeze, and I would find a spot somewhere and squeeze it. In fact, it's just given us the urge to go pick at my skin. So with that all being said, I'm going to give the pick palette a very generous 2 pick palettes out of 5, because based on the reviews from other people, this must be a thing that people are happy with and enjoy, and it might not be a thing that is for me. It hasn't worked for us, and I don't know why. It's obviously worked for a lot of other people, but not for me. If it wasn't for the other reviews and the fact that other people have enjoyed it, I would give this like 0. I would give it nothing, because it's a piece of plastic with just bits of paint on it. Oh, actually, it feels better picking it with your fingers. Oh, this is a bit more exciting. No, it's not. I was going to change my mind on it as soon as I started to pick, because it felt a bit more satisfying, but I still stand by my review. I'm not a huge fan. But let me know if this is something that you might enjoy and get some use out of. But for me, nah, it's a hard pass. But if you did enjoy this little video of me testing out a piece of plastic with paint stuck on it, then make sure to give it a thumbs up. See you next week for a brand new video.